All right. I was not prepared with my outro or intro. I'm not doing the outro right now. Hello. I'm getting ready to do the intro. So give me just a second. This is just wonderful. I was not prepared. Man, being off like one day, like out of the week that I was supposed to do a stream has really thrown me off apparently. All right. Here's the intro. Hello there. Welcome to the Force Collective. I'm totally prepared for this. Totally prepared. This stream did not just happen last minute at all. I promise. Actually, it was. But anyway, I feel like I want to talk about Bad Batch today. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
Bad Batch. Let's see. Hello, Bounty Hunter Network. Nice to see you. All right. What did you guys think of the last 2 episodes? Because I didn't do a stream last Thursday, so we'll have to discuss both of them. But what did you guys think of the last 2?
Oh, who should go first?
You go first, Lady Tano. You go first.
Yeah, go
Okay. So yeah, the past 2. I'm trying to make sure that I've got it all clear in my mind. So, which one do I want to talk about first?
Probably talk about the one before the last one. We'll just go in order in episodes. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. So, actually, I may end up not doing that just because of the more recent one is more fresh in my mind. But one thing just that kind of stuck out to me, and it's a really minor thing, but I think it's worth speculating over. The fact that when this last week's episode, when that opened up, and obviously we've been all mulling over, what are Omega's special abilities? Is she like some force sensitive clone experiment? Is she something else? One thing that I thought was really interesting, because I know that prior to that episode, you had when she was trying to learn how to use her bow. I loved that they made it such that they explicitly said like she's not a natural, like that her her shooting Crosshair's gun in the first episode, that really was just luck. When she said she was lucky, that's true. I really like that they ran with that, because I think that the fact that they knew that a lot of us watching that scene would be thinking that, or asking those questions, and thinking, oh no, are we going to have kind of this another kind of character that's kind of just default omnipotent, there's no explanation for her abilities, and I like that they just said, it's just luck. It was just luck. But one thing I also noticed was, in this past episode when she meets Rex, and she says that, he's like, I forget what the term is, but basically that he kind of came out with, as an early batch, and he's like, how'd you know that? And she doesn't say like, oh, I could just sense it, or I could read your mind. It's like, she's just like, well, the lines on your face. It was just kind of a very kind of naturalistic explanation for it, that she just perceived something. And so I keep waffling over, like, is she, maybe she's not supposed to be force sensitive. Maybe it's just this totally other yet to be named ability that she has. She's just very perceptive or whatever. But that's one thing that I found interesting about this series, despite the fact that we had the sequels, which kind of primed us one way into, with character expectations. And then we had The Mandalorian, where we've gone through this story with this gifted, force-sensitive child, and we kind of have this set of expectations that goes along with that. But yet with this, I still don't. If someone asks me, what do you think her abilities are? I don't know. I'm still on the fence, and I think it's kind of impressive that it's kind of it can keep an audience on the fence for that long going in.
Yeah, true. I'm honestly like, my mind is blown from the last episode. That last one was really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, the one before it was pretty good, especially finding out that they did rebuild R7. I don't know about anybody else, but I was very excited to see Ahsoka's droid back.
Yes.
It's a minor thing, but I was very happy to see that. I wasn't like so keen on the sisters that much in the Clone Wars. I'm hoping that they will change my mind on them with if they bring them out more often in Bad Batch. But I mean, they weren't annoying.
They're more there as a device. They're just kind of a device to pull the narrative along. I'm fine with that. It was, and I think the episode wasn't so much focused on them and that it was more. But yeah, I just this last week's episode was.
It was insane.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about the other episode first before I say anything about the last one. But first, hello, Sir AOA. How are you doing?
I am so annoyed at myself right now.
Why is that, sir?
Because I stuffed up on what time this was all meant to happen. was sitting here waiting, and I'm
Don't worry, Psycho is also late, so you're not alone.
Yeah, but I'm here now. What's up?
The gang's all here, boys. The gang is all here. The Bounty Hunter Network says Rex is my favorite character or favorite Star Wars character, so him appearing was awesome. Yeah, I'm very, very excited to see Rex, but it looks like he's only going to be like in that one episode. Maybe he'll show up once or twice later on. But, unfortunately, he won't be more involved. But, we can't have him too involved because it would probably take away from the main characters that's already on there. So, what I was thinking that really got me hyped with the episode before the last episode. For Sir AOA and Psycho, we are talking about the Bad Batch, the episodes. I'm discussing the one before the last episode because we didn't have a stream last Thursday, so we didn't get to talk about it none.
Episode 6.
So, yeah, the 6th one. And then, which you can talk about whichever one you want to. I'm trying to discuss both of them, but I was mainly discussing the 6th one at the moment, so I'm just trying to get you guys caught up on where I'm at.
Yep.
We just started, though, so Sweet. You're not actually behind. All right, so what I liked about the 6th episode was when the droid army that was in that factory being smelted and all that stuff, being decommissioned. Yeah, that's it. I liked that they were able to use those droids to fight back those, I guess, the security there. And they played a tiny bit of the Separatist theme from the actual movies, which they actually neglected to ever use throughout the whole Clone Wars, as far as I was able to tell. But it's little details like that that really get me excited, and that was one of those details. What do you guys? You know what? We let Ahsoka go, or Commander Tano. I'm looking at your image and I called you Ahsoka. Same thing.
My real name actually does rhyme with Ahsoka, so why go with it?
Okay. I'll call you Ahsoka. That's fine. All right. So, Chrono, you haven't said much yet, so I'm going to go ahead and let you speak.
About the episode 6, I really think it was interesting to see them go after the whole job to go after the droid's head it made a lot of sense because they go after the tactics to try and fight the clones, which makes sense. I mean, they are now their enemies. They don't like it, but that's how it is. And to have the sisters doing the work for Rex, it makes sense too, because who else would they trust? I mean, Ahsoka and Rex really know how things are now. So yeah, I mean, it's not like I really expected to see them there, but seeing them there, it's like, oh yeah, who else would she tell that can pull off a job like that? And yeah, you're right that they weren't annoying, and, so no issue with them. The issue actually was never with them; it was with their episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice that they do something actually good with them, because in
Yeah.
the end they are already Star Wars established characters, so there's
Yeah.
no reason to hate them.
Exactly. I mean, they didn't annoy me. I'm not saying that they should never have showed up, because actually that episode was good, and it, I wouldn't want to change it. I don't care who was in it. I just hope that if they do end up doing more with their characters, that they're not like the episodes they showed in the Clone Wars, because those episodes weren't my favorite. I feel like if they were going to do a final season of the Clone Wars, I would have done something different with those first 4 episodes. I think those were not. No, those weren't the first 4. That was the Bad Batch episodes, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. I would have done something with that second story arc, a little bit different. I mean,
and probably make it shorter because they took too long with them.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they could have done a little bit more. I mean, they could have No, honestly, I wouldn't have wanted to keep those characters there. They originally had a different character that I'm mixing my words. Okay, so let me get this out the way I need to, because I am seriously stumbling on my words at the moment. This is what I mean. They can keep those characters, but I really wish they would introduce that one character that they never showed up in the show. They cut him out. The one that I guess the sisters took the place of in I guess the new version of those episodes, where Ahsoka, goes down that pit that takes her down a few levels of Coruscant, and she runs into that guy instead of those 2 sisters. I want to see if they ever bring him in there. That's something I wanted to see.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
That would be interesting. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, why make a character and have some lines already voiced by that character? Because they had him on that, I think it was an animatic. They did have that little animatic with him in it. So I don't know why they would have just got rid of that character. They should use that character and the character model that they had made. I mean, that would just save them money instead of having to
I agree.
change it out.
And Disney needs to save money.
Yeah, they do sometimes. More often right now than not. All right, I'm done rambling about that. Did you have anything else to say, Chrono?
About what Commander Thanos said concerning Omega. Yeah, I agree. This episode and the next, they were fundamental improving. Omega is not a Mary Sue. I mean, a lot of people don't like the fact that she's smart and she can do things because they fear she will be another Rey. But I don't think she is. And these episodes show it. The whole deal with the bow, the way she talks to Rex, the way she was almost about to die like 5 times in the decommissioned episode.
Yeah.
I really like because they show how she tries. She tries really hard to not be a burden on them. She wants to go with the team. She wants to be part of them, but she's aware that she's weak and she's not trained like they are. So yeah, I don't see a problem with her. I don't understand why people really some of them even call it the Omega show, like it's all about her, and it's not. It really hasn't been.
No. It never was just about her, and I really like her character. So
Same.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, she's like an adorable character. I can't not like her.
Yeah, she is.
I don't know if that's weird for me to say.
And I
Is
love
that
the
weird for you to
relationship she has with Wrecker. I mean, it's like this big brother,
Yes.
little sister thing. It works
Yeah.
really well.
It does. I really do. I really do enjoy that little relationship they have. Let's see.
It's probably I guess the thing is that when you're sort of calling the show the Bad Batch and you're sort of making them seem like, you know, some special ops unit, it's a little jarring when it sort of turns into a family comedy type situation where they go out on adventures and shoot up droids. So I guess I can sort of understand how people sort of have that disconnect of sort of, hang on, what am I watching here? And yeah, it
Well, yeah, you have a point there because even whether you like it or you don't, this is really not what we were expecting. I mean, when
That's
we
true.
were we walked into that first episode and we learned about Omega, and we were like, "What?" I mean, we expected to see them there fighting the clones, but not the kid.
Yep.
yeah.
So yeah, that was a surprise.
I guess the biggest problem, and this is probably my biggest problem with the Bad Batch at the moment, is that you kind of don't have a sense of what the series is meant to be. It's sort of a case of the genre just seems to be a little bit all over the place for me. I'm trying to put it into words, but it's not quite coming out. It for me, it just doesn't feel settled. Yeah. I guess these past two episodes have been the closest to being settled. But not so much.
Yeah.
I think we're going to feel... Okay.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think maybe we'll feel, I don't know, maybe it'll feel a little bit more settled. I feel like we're due to have a little bit more of Camino and Tarkin and Crosshair, like that world, that part of the arc, because we've been away from that for some time. And kind of, you know, what the Kaminoans are talking about, you know, kind of, you know, this next phase of clones that they want to kind of pitch to the Empire. We know very little about the transition from a clone army to a conscripted army, things like that. But yeah, hopefully we'll get a little bit more of that next week.
Well, I think that we will, because at the end of the last episode, the two security guards they're not security, they're part of a gang, aren't they?
Yeah.
No, a guild.
A guild. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So they saw the clones in the scrapyard and they wanted to alert the Empire. They said, go alert the Empire or something like that. So I think Crosshair is going to end up showing up in the next episode at very least.
And isn't it so nice to see those inhibitor chips finally come out, and so we don't have to worry about them anymore? It was such a relief to see Wrecker take out his chip.
Yeah, I mean that whole part where Wrecker decides to go Order 66, his brothers. That was a really good scene. It was frightening.
It was really, really something.
It was frightening to see Wrecker be that dark, though. He's never been that dark.
It showed a total, because he's generally like the lighthearted character. I feel like almost the comic relief character a lot of the time. It was really interesting to see another side of his character that I wouldn't have really expected to see.
Yeah,
exactly. I do have to admit, I reckon that scene probably would have been a little bit better if, you know, Omega had have just stayed bloody still. It really felt dragged out when it sort of came to the whole, is Rekka going to find Omega and kill her? Because, well, frankly, we all know Disney probably wouldn't go that bloody dark. But yeah, to me, it definitely felt very forced and drawn out. It probably would have just been, probably could have just, I don't know what you would have done in replacement. But yeah, it just felt like we need to yeah, it felt very much like that, sort of like, hey, we need to somehow insert Omega into this situation.
Did you say insert something into a situation? Sorry, I had to insert that into this at least once.
It could be inserted in any situation.
True.
Now I'm just sitting here waiting for another clip to pop out randomly.
Maybe more.
Did you say more?
Kind of walked into that one. What can I say?
Oh man, yeah. I'm glad you guys are still running with the joke. That's awesome.
Oh, of course. Now I've forgotten what I was bloody well saying. So thanks for that.
Yes, you're welcome.
You were talking about the, kind of the drawn outness of the, Wrecker with the chip activated, that whole scene. The one thing I do like from that scene is, and once again, kind of going back to the Omega is not a Mary Sue scene. Like, I feel like, sequel Star Wars would have had, Omega's, what I had been expecting from that scene. So, prior to that, were hunters fighting Wrecker, and I was expecting Omega to pick up the gun and stun Wrecker, and then that would be the end of it. And they would Mary Sue her, but they didn't, and so they had. Yes, it was more drawn out, and that of course Wrecker's not going to kill her. They're not going to allow that to happen in that kind of story. But at the same time, it's like I do like, I guess because I'm comparing this to, say, Rebels, and once again, I don't have as many problems with Rebels as some people do, but I do agree that it was, it was a step down in terms of maturity. It's like this, that they're willing to let one of the main characters point a gun at a child, and like go that far with that, and the fact that she doesn't, she's just running away from him. She's not Mary suing Wrecker, and the fact that it's
I love that as a thought. Mary suing someone.
That's the new verb.
It's a verb.
Yeah.
It's true though. It's like there's so much it's like that. That's the only way to describe it. It's like I expected her to be Mary suing him at some point, and that didn't happen. It's only because like Rex showed up and stunned him that everything was fine.
So Omega doesn't suddenly do a backflip and smack him in the face and knock him out. No, not quite wrong. I'm sorry. I have to say that's the wrong clip.
Oh, really? Which one's the right one?
Do you have Rey pulling the lightsaber out of the snow?
I do not, unfortunately.
See, that would have been the right one.
Okay. I'll get more clips then. I'll get more, and I'll have some for every situation. I'll be
absolutely, because you definitely need more.
Oh,
demand.
I need more. Okay, I guess I'll just get us some more. I drew that out a little longer than I meant to because I couldn't find it. I was trying so hard to find it quickly, but I just had to keep drawing it out until I finally found it. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think
I didn't mean to walk out the door.
That was me. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Did you want to finish Commander Tano?
I think I finished. I was just saying the one thing that was just why I saying what I liked about that scene, the fact that there was no Mary suing in that.
Yeah.
No Mary suing.
We need to get on to Urban Dictionary and write that in.
Yeah.
We need to claim that now while it's still like an opportunity.
It's trademarked already. All right. It's official. The Force Collective trademarks the Mary suing term.
As a verb.
Yeah. Verb, sorry. Okay, grammar police. Okay. So
well, so hang on. I just looked it up.
What?
Oh, hang on. There is no results for Mary suing, so I think we've got it.
We gotta fix this. Yeah, we need make this a thing.
Nice. How do we go about actually trademarking a phrase or a?
I could actually tell you.
Dictionary.
Hang on.
Let's hear it. I want to hear it. Tell us how.
That's actually part of the misconception. It's you have to. This is not legal advice, obviously, but
non-legal advice from a legal expert.
Part of the deal is you have to use it in commerce, so you'd have to sell stuff or display an intent to sell stuff using it. That's what a trademark, the trade and trademark is for.
Well, there you go. There you go, Shade. You should get on it. Put it on a T-shirt and sell the T-shirt.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. I'll have to figure out how to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm pumped for it. All right, be ready for the Force Collective merch coming out in whatever time. I don't know. I haven't come up with it yet. Mary suing, nice. All right, so. Enough of the jokes. We're going to have a quick commercial break. Have you guys ever tried Pringles?
Is this sponsored by Pringles? Where is this going?
Well, today I picked up a cylinder full of Moa Burger flavored Pringles. And if you haven't tried it, you should. They are probably the best Pringles you will ever eat. Just saying. Okay, now
what is the flavor?
Moa Burger. Have you played Halo Reach? I shouldn't ask you. You got me into Halo, so why in the world should I ask you? Do you remember those ostrich-like creatures in Halo Reach?
Yes.
Okay, the Moa Burger is a burger in Halo made of their meat.
Interesting.
Yes. And Pringles, in celebration of Halo Infinite, came out with a Moa Burger flavored Pringle. So try it, and I believe you will like it. All right.
Interesting.
Done advertising for Pringles. Sponsor me. All right. So, anybody else got anything else to say about anything? I'll just let you guys say whatever you want to about this. I don't exactly have a planned out.
I really just enjoyed the direction of these, these first 6 episodes. I feel like even if we're not exactly at where we want to be right now, with this show, I feel like the groundwork is kind of laid, and because of that, I think that we have a really bright future. There's a lot of really awesome content that I think we're going to see emerge from this show. It's definitely so far. It's exceeded my expectations because at first I was just like, kind of, why do we need to see this story play out? Not really sold on it, but throughout these 6 episodes, it's kind of proved me wrong. So, and I'm excited about that. So, I don't know. I'm really interested to see where it goes from here.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited for tomorrow's episode. I haven't watched.
Me too.
I haven't I lost what I was going to say. I am a professional streamer, clearly. I'm
Not
really
gonna say no.
excited. I'm going to probably watch it early in the morning or as early as I can, because I don't look, if I go on YouTube or something like that, I'm going to get spoiled on it. So I'm going to try to watch as early as I can, but I fall asleep at 11 o'clock at night due to the fact that I work at 6 in the morning. So I can't stay up till 3 o'clock when it comes out and then watch it, which is annoying. But, it is what it is. So I have to watch it early in the morning. I don't want to get spoiled on it. I'm very particular about my shows and getting spoiled on them. I hate it when I get spoiled. And I won't spoil anything for anybody else unless they beg me, get on their hands and knees and beg me to do it. Even then, I might not do it. So I'm very particular. I'm very excited though. I think the next episode is going to be a really, really good one.
Do you know what the earliest is that we're able to actually stream the next episode?
I'm pretty sure it's 3 in the morning, 3 a.m. Eastern. For whoever else, I'm not sure.
Which I guess is 12 a.m. probably Pacific Standard.
I'll have to look that up.
That sounds right to me.
It probably is, but it's around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I thought, for us down here. But I'm trying to look that up. Hold on. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm looking at things.
We're talking.
Yeah, but you're not talking about a subject. You're not talking about a subject, though.
All right. Well, that means someone else should piggyback off of whatever we're talking about.
Yeah, that would be a great idea.
What were we talking about?
Do it.
But we have. I've really enjoyed everything that they've given us so far. I think that
it is 12.
I think that it's headed a really positive direction overall, and if you think of where the Clone Wars started and where it ended, and even Rebels where it started and where it landed, it's a big evolution, and I think that this show is going to show a lot of evolution as well. And I mean, comparing the first episode of the Clone Wars to say the first episode of the Bad Batch, you can kind of even see how Filoni has sort of grown as a storyteller, just in how he builds tension and just different elements like this, that you see that he's just really evolved to be a really next level storyteller in, as far as getting across the feeling or the mood or the vibe that he's trying to portray. Ben Swallow.
Yeah, the biggest problem is that I still feel like we're watching the pilot. I kind of feeling that we haven't actually started watching the story, which I thoroughly enjoyed the first few episodes, but it's just sort of kind of felt too slow, I guess you could say.
I get that.
We just sort of.
Yeah, I think it started too strong, and now we are perceiving it as slow because it's not as impactful as the first two episodes.
Yeah,
it's not so much impactful. It's just sort of a case of the first two episodes set up this storyline, and then a lot of the episodes after it have kind of felt like no, that's a bit unfair.
Not that bad. Not that bad.
Not quite that bad.
Not that bad. But it's close.
It feels like where we've stopped the story so we can build the stage, I guess you could say. And I don't really sort of feel like that's completely necessary.
I honestly think they're getting their footing though with these last couple episodes. I think that it's starting to set up something.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like the stage is being set for something bigger than we can really see at this moment. But I'm just really kind of intrigued to see it play out.
This is where the fun begins.
Would probably be better if like the Bad Batch was saying that, but you know, so
Well, yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I think I'd at least much rather, and I'm glad it seems them erring on the side of taking time to build things as opposed to the opposite of just relying on like very quick exposition to piece things together, or just count, or not having any of that at all. Just counting on the fact that you can go read this in a book, or you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I get what you mean though.
Yeah, I would prefer it to have a slow world building than no world building sequel trilogy. Oh, did I mention sequel trilogy? I think I did.
Yes, that's definitely what you should do for the sequel trilogy. But I mean, the thing is that it almost feels like they should probably make the episodes a little bit longer and have
less. More.
No. No. You know, sort of longer episodes, but less episodes around the world building.
Okay. I was about to say you probably want more, but you shouldn't. But you sort of ruined that. Oh man, the Star Wars references they flow to me like the Force. That was a weird thing to say. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I'm just.
It certainly doesn't hurt that the prequels are effectively a meme gold mine. So I mean,
say meme.
There's definitely
that. Speak of memes, and he shows up. All right, now to get serious. And by serious, I mean we'll just continue on, but we'll actually be on topic. So go ahead and keep talking. Whoever
I
wants
don't
to
know
go.
who you're referring to.
I don't know who I'm referring to. I'm waiting for somebody to say something, and hopefully we'll just roll with it. I'm not prepared today. I'm just having a conversation. This was very last minute. If you didn't know,
are there confirmed for this season? Do we know?
Thought it was 16.
15. So if it's 15, we've still got quite a ways to go. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with that many additional episodes in the season.
Actually, now I remember how I. Don't worry, I just got confused with the amount of episodes with the Book of Boba Fett. I think that was meant to be a lot less episodes.
Oh, really?
From memory.
I mean, how many?
It's probably going to be like The Mandalorian, right?
I think it was like 9,
8 or
something
9,
like that. Yeah,
5-minute long episodes, probably.
Probably.
It would be nice to see them step things up and do it like a full hour. Considering, the Mandalorian started at just that, like 8, 9 episodes in 45 minutes, and it's like they brought so many people like into the app and like into their service through the Mandalorian. It would be interesting to see them be like, all right, now we've got so like all of this funding. Now we're going to, put that to use and start doing something that people, are wanting to see, and, maybe extend some of these episodes and maybe see about like extending like this season-wide budget spending like for these shows.
So you're just saying more, right?
I am saying more.
See, this time I waited for you to actually say whether you meant you want more.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure I wasn't just playing it just to be playing it.
Hey,
had to have a reason.
Psycho. Can you like just travel over Shade's house and just pull his hand away from that button?
I can.
No,
I can.
you're still holding on. Let go.
That's why
that one was actually good use.
Yes.
I'll give you points on that one. You can keep your hand.
Yes, I'm doing that. You can't see me, but I'm doing it. Yep. Okay. Oh man, I have way too much fun with these. Or this one's a good one too. I should probably use this one.
Go.
I mean, I'm a guy,
too.
but that one was good too.
And we'll just assume that the her that you're referring to is the mouse.
Yeah. Yes, we'll just assume that. We'll just assume that. Okay. Okay.
No worries.
All right.
That's fine.
No worries. We'll just assume it.
Are you sure?
I think we'll just assume it.
Are you sure?
So what's your mouse name, Stacy?
That's classified. Sorry. I can't tell you that much. It would probably I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna shut up. I was trying to run with it and I messed it up. Oh well. I'm bad at jokes. Sometimes. All right. So we're basically just messing around now at this point, but that's okay. We can talk about whatever else. I think we did talk about how excited we were about the next episode. And we also talked a little bit. Well, actually, not a little bit, but we did talk about both the other episodes. Did everybody have, does anybody else have anything to say about either of those episodes? Whoever says something first gets to go first. So go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add.
Actually,
you said something first.
First, that I don't have anything to add.
Yeah, and
Conflicting info.
And
I don't have anything to add. And also, I don't have anything to add.
Liar!
Don't tell me.
I can't really think of anything that I would, like to add.
I
Every word of what you just said was wrong.
Yeah.
You're just now finding excuses for it, aren't you?
What are you talking about? I would never.
Sure.
I would never.
Actually, there's one thing that I definitely sort of have to criticize is that those starships are really badly made if they rust that quickly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I hadn't thought of that.
No, wait. They're the first ones off the line, though. And that was like, yeah, that's what
they
Rex
mentioned
said,
that.
Yeah.
How long ago were they made?
But I mean, the thing is that they wouldn't have been sitting there for that long, even if they were the first ones off the line. I mean, you know, unless they were destroyed ships, that
maybe the Republic was wasteful.
Maybe.
and that's why they ran out of money.
Yeah, maybe. That could be it. I mean, it could also be maybe the planet. It could be the type of material the ship is made of. I mean, it's not meant to be in a planet for very long or at a planet for very long. It's meant to be in space, and I doubt anything would rust in space, right?
I'm thinking, you know, the episode where Maul is found, that like garbage dump planet, and it's where like Savage has met that like snake creature, and there's this mention of like this acid rain and stuff like that. You know, I'm kind of thinking about things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I mean, it could be anything. I mean, I don't know. I'm just fishing for excuses at this point. But I mean,
we don't have enough information to make such
True.
assumptions. We don't know how Durasteel is affected by weather conditions. We don't know the planet, how it's like. We don't know how long it's been there. So
True.
yeah, it could be.
And think about it.
It was. Oh, go
Go ahead. I'll say what I need to say after you're done. Go ahead.
It was just a little bit weird that it was meant to be something where, you know, ships come to die, but everything looked like it had been there for 10 or 20 years rather than some looking like they've been there for ages while others look like, you know, they've just rocked up type of situation. But everything you saw was an absolute rust bucket. And it just felt, I don't know if you would say lazy, but it just didn't feel right.
Well, one thing that comes to my mind is knowing that the clone army had been created before the Jedi even knew there was a clone army on Kamino. They probably had those ships already in production, and let's say those ships were at Kamino, somewhere else on Kamino. I don't know. You didn't see them there in episode 2, no, but let's just say for you know, they had like another facility that they had the ships at on Kamino. It rains a lot at Kamino. And that could also contribute to the rust. And the fact that it was those ships were probably created way before the Jedi even discovered Kamino. That could also maybe add to that. I mean, it's just it's, you know, it's just me just fishing for excuses, but it's something to think about.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, I don't know. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, I love how this is boiled down to us talking about the rust.
Yeah. Well, it's better than talking about sand.
Yeah, I hate sand. Gosh, it's coarse, rough, and irritating. Gets everywhere. I hate it. I need that as a clip. I
was surprised you didn't have one. I was expecting you to put one up.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, knowing how much I hate sand, that should have been one of the first ones I thought of. Goodness, I'm an idiot.
Good job.
Yeah. Thank you, Obi-Wan. You really captured that sense of sarcasm.
I think with the whole with the rust question, for me, maybe it doesn't, it's like I noticed it, but maybe it doesn't bother me as much because it's like I just kind of, it's one of those things where it's like it's metaphorically true, if that makes sense. Like it's like they more have it there for, it's more for the idea that they're trying to, you know, kind of the theme they're trying to communicate, as opposed to trying to literally recount, you know, events that happened. And I think part of the reason why it doesn't bother me so much, but something like that might bother me in some other story, is it all kind of boils down to, you know, if I like the story and the characters, I tend to be more forgiving over inconsistencies like that. But if I'm not as invested, like say in the Rise of Skywalker, I nitpick that thing to pieces. You know? Because it just, I don't have any emotional attachment to it. You know, I just, when I saw that one, it was just kind of felt numb, and so it was kind of like, yeah, I can.
Go on.
Exactly. But yeah, so I felt like with that, you know, it's like, yeah, I totally have fun nitpicking like all these different MacGuffins and wayfinders and just the convolutedness of it all. You know, that's an example. You know, we're talking about, you know, what you know, taking maybe a little bit extra time to set up the stage versus the Rise of Skywalker. It's like probably would have helped them if they took, broke that up into 2 movies or something longer, because there was so much just really quick, rapid exposition.
Are you talking about like this?
Oh, they fly now! They fly now! They fly now!
That right there is the best piece of exposition I ever seen.
It's
Yeah.
but
I'm
yeah,
sure
it's so
everybody likes
I don't feel so as like kind of generously inclined. So it's like when if it's a show that I like and they say tell a joke and it just falls flat, I'll look it over. I can look past that. But it's like if it's something where it's just like the whole thing, I'm just
the whole
not
thing is a
sold.
joke.
Yeah, and just that I have no investment in any of the characters and so forth. It's like I'm going to make fun of it and I'm going to critique it and nitpick it and all of that. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
No, I mean I completely understand that. I'm the same way. Unless it's with the prequels, I'll make fun of it because I like it. I love the prequels. And that's not something you hear a lot of, but I do love the prequels. And I also make fun of it because I know they're not perfect. And I like to make fun of the things like I hate sand. Like that was a terrible pickup line. I don't know who in the world would have ever come up with that, except for George Lucas. But
that's what I like about it, though, that people who like the prequels are totally comfortable in their own skin and can make fun of them. Whereas it's like if you make fun of the sequels, if you make fun of things like that, it's like you've committed murder.
You're an ist. You're a phobe.
Yes.
Burn them at the stake.
Hold on. I got a good one for this.
No, you're still holding on! Let go!
Whether you believe it or not, that one was perfect for the moment.
It was.
Yes. I mean, look, they're like, if you don't like this, then you're stupid. But if you like, hold on.
You're not just stupid, you're toxic and evil.
Oh, yeah. And
phobic. Okay. You can't remember the...
If you like that, though, that right there is like crime against humanity. Though I will say that might have been not the best clip I could have picked for that, but I don't have that as many prequel clips as I wish I had on here. I'm going to get more. I promise.
Whenever you play the clip with the kid and the lightsaber, I always go to the very first or second streaming you did, saying you wanted a kids-friendly thing here, and I am always like
kid-friendly for reasons.
Kids feel very threatened watching this now.
Hey, no. I'm trying to draw them in so Anakin can do his thing.
Hey.
You do know that it sounds an awful lot worse than it previously did, right?
Yes. I can't believe how dark I sounded just then. I'm canceled now. I'm a child.
Hello, we're doing this show. We're already canceled.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. So I might as well just go on with it.
But I think when Shade is talking about sort of being kid friendly, he just doesn't want Australian speaking Australian on the show.
Wouldn't that be racist?
No. It's just that every third word would be a swear word.
Yeah, for the most part, I've noticed that, but I still love you anyway. It's okay.
Love you too.
This is taking a turn for the wholesome.
Yeah, we love each other here. We love each other here.
Actually, talking about wholesome, there's a question that I sort of want to ask everyone.
Okay.
I'm. No, don't worry. It's definitely a Star Wars topic, and it's definitely something that we can. Actually, I've got no idea how long we could discuss it for, but hey, I've just got a. Yeah, no, stuff it. actually writing a YouTube script for a YouTube video, mainly based around some of the dumb arguments that keep on coming up about Luke Skywalker on Twitter.
Ooh.
I'm very much planning on just, well, it depends on bloody how long this goes for, but I'm hoping just have one video and just tear all the dumb arguments that a lot of the Empire lovers have about Luke Skywalker. So anyone can just point to the video whenever it comes up on Twitter.
Yep.
But there is definitely one question that I kind of want to get many different voices on, and that is what would be Luke Skywalker's psychology, mainly based around I am talking about the original trilogy Luke Skywalker here, and just use the 3 movies. Don't go into legend. Don't go into any of the books or anything like that, but just...
We'll be here all night long if we start going into legends.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So dang it, but when you said it was just 3 movies, I had like a couple clips planned, and you messed that up. How dare you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because the thing is that I definitely sort of I view Luke Skywalker as a bit of an optimist. And I think that's mainly because that's what I am. So it might just be more imprinting my psychology on Luke more than actually sort of being objective and actually, sort of...
I would certainly consider Luke to be an optimist. I definitely don't think that that's what's going on here. I would say based on, or at least based on the original trilogy, I mean, there's really nothing else that I could really see, fitting for his, psychology.
I completely agree. He is an optimist, first of all. Second of all, he always believes in the good in people. So instead of doing what everybody else is like, go kill this person because they're pure evil, or I don't know if that was what Obi-Wan and Yoda were actually wanting Luke to do when it comes to Vader. But if they thought that by wiping out Vader, he would become a Jedi, if that was their philosophy, and they would be wrong, at least in Luke's eyes. Luke would be like, he knows there's good in him, so he's going to try his best to get that good to come out and trump the evil that's within him. So he's that kind of person that will always believe in the good in others, and hopefully, he's very hopeful as well. So he's hoping that his efforts don't go to waste. He wants to bring hope to others. That's what I sort of see out of Luke.
I can definitely reassure you that you are not imprinting your optimism on Luke, because first, I am not an optimist. I'm actually a very cynical person. But I try not to project that, but yeah, I'm a very cynical person, and so I did not, growing up, like Luke Skywalker wasn't my favorite character. Like I was, of the original movies, I liked Han Solo because he was so I think you have a very accurate read on Luke's character. What else was I going to say? But I think the one thing that was interesting for me, at least, as I said, I was never really, all those characters, like Luke didn't really interest me as much. But, once, and so maybe that was part of the reason why I was able to kind of get, at least watch all 3 sequel movies, because I didn't, they quickly killed off Han Solo, and that was the original trilogy character I was invested in. That I wasn't so much in Luke and Leia, but at the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian, I was like, it was really weird. Like, even though like I didn't have that attachment to that character, I was like sobbing, during that whole finale or whatever. But so that was how well they did it, and there was no dialogue in that scene. It was just someone in a cape going through and slashing droids. But I don't, and maybe it was just a testament to how well it was blocked and kind of the music with all of that. But yeah. I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah, you're not imprinting. I agree with that.
Well, that scene where Luke is mowing down those dark troopers, it was very emotional for, I want to say, a lot of people. And I mean, me personally, when I saw Luke, I just wanted to say this.
This is where the fun begins.
Because I've seen him and I'm like, oh man, things are about to go down. And by the time he got to the I think it's the command center, the bridge of the ship, I don't know what it's called, that like really made it not emotional enough to cry, but I was like, it was an emotional thing for me because first of all, they messed up Luke, in the sequel trilogy, as you can tell. And seeing and remembering what he was like in the original trilogy, and then seeing him show up in the Mandalorian in the way that he should have been portrayed in the first place by Disney, it really brought me to a place where I'm thinking, this is what we want. This is the kind of hero that I would want to envision myself being. Because, a lot of people have like role models in their life, and there's certain characters that you can project yourself onto, and it don't matter what they are. It can be alien, it can be a robot, it can be a person of different race. It don't matter, different gender. You can project yourself on a person due to the things that you have in common, or maybe even into the things that you want to be, and maybe that character will inspire you. And Luke is one of those characters that would inspire anyone. Well, at least until the sequel trilogy comes up. Then he's the kind of person that's like, I'm done inspiring people. I'm just going to throw all that out the window or behind me off a cliff, either one, and just ruin it. But no, he wasn't like that, and that's something that the Mandalorian really brought back for me, is that inspiration. It made it something, seeing something like that and seeing a hero in a movie or something like that. If they're really awesome and they're really cool, well, that's the same thing. They make you want to be a better person. If you look at yourself and you look at them and you try to compare yourself and think, I could be like that if I try. It's you don't see that much with movies much nowadays. Having a hero that makes you want to be a better person. That's just something. And maybe I look too far into these things. I could be the only one that feels that way, but there are heroes that would inspire a person to become a better person, and they can, use that person as a template to mold themselves, which is not a bad thing.
No.
If it makes you a better person.
Absolutely.
Unless you choose Palpatine and you try to go his route. But, Palpatine would want you to do it.
Do it.
See? He's asking you to right now. But yeah, I went a lot into that. Go ahead.
I don't know what you mean. I mean, Rey is clearly a role model for a lot of people. She really wants.
Oh.
She really makes everyone want to be a better person.
Oh,
like
really?
A person that can do anything.
Really? Wow.
Liar!
Yeah,
wow. Wow. Didn't know that. Didn't know.
Go.
All right. Oh gosh, I have too much fun with these clips. If I get more, I'll have even more fun. You guys might regret me getting more clips. Just saying.
No, we want more.
You want more?
I was so going to bounce around saying that word just to avoid, because I knew you had that clip ready to go.
I was ready this time. I didn't this time.
I just knew that you had it ready, so I was going to avoid saying that word.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, you said it twice earlier. Yes,
I know.
I am listening for that word. And when I get a good chance, I will use that clip. Just saying. So you better be careful.
But
if you don't want
more. But,
all right, I'm done for now.
But continue. Chrono, do you have any input on Luke Skywalker's psychology in the original trilogy?
Yeah, I think the really defining word for Luke is hopeful. I mean, he is an optimist. He really doesn't think he can't do anything. He really feels like he can accomplish whatever he sets his mind to, which is weird because he was kind of failing Yoda's training because he didn't believe in himself. But in the end, he does. He thinks like putting enough effort into something will lead to a good result. He believes in everyone. He knows for sure in his heart that people are good if given the chance, which is why he gambled on Vader. I mean, not only because he was his father, because he could feel that he wasn't really evil as everyone said. I think the hopeful is the best way to describe him. He is always hoping for the best, which is the reason most people really don't get it, especially if they are not old Star Wars fans. But that's exactly the reason we hate what they did to him in the sequel trilogy, because it doesn't fit his character. It's like you're trying to sell me that Luke Skywalker would go to the very darkest place at the glimpse of a possible bad outcome. I mean, that's not happening. It's not. There's no way.
Yeah. I think, and I'll go into further depth in the video when it comes out, when I create it. But I think the biggest mistake that a lot of the people that defend the sequel trilogy make is the fact that the opposite of optimist isn't a pessimist.
Really?
No, it isn't. It's I've forgotten the word now.
Well, you know what that means.
Liar!
No, the indifference.
Indifferent, yeah.
That's the opposite of actually all emotions. Now, if you're talking about the inversion of an optimist, then absolutely. Actually, hang on a second. Would it be pessimist or nihilist? Pessimistic nihilist?
Let's go with that. Sounds right.
Either way, I accept it.
Yeah. But yeah, that is the opposite. So the thing is that if you were wanting to show the opposite emotion, it would be a case of just being dejected and lethargic, I guess you could say. It doesn't involve you exiling yourself to an island. Especially setting up a system where you've got to bring two map pieces together to tell which planet you're on to then find the island so you can do that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. That was good timing.
Yes, you're welcome. I'm the master of this.
The other thing is, and this will sound really weird, but I think where they got Luke wrong, because people kind of make the argument, and I've made this argument too. Like when I was a sequel apologist, I made this argument. It's like, well, a lot of, when you look out in the real world, I know a lot of people who used to be like young Luke Skywalker, and then they turned into Last Jedi Luke Skywalker. Like that actually happens. And I still agree that actually happens. But I think where The Last Jedi gets it wrong is that, this will sound strange, but Star Wars isn't about real people. Star Wars is all kind of archetypical people. And it's like when they kind of had, when The Last Jedi did what they did with Luke's character, it's like, it's not just that they kind of, took his character off the track that had been with the originals. It's that they kind of just like switched genres, if you will, in terms of storytelling.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I agree. I mean, people do change all the time when they get older. That happens. Although there are people who don't change too. And I think the point is, the reason people like Star Wars is it's escapist and archetypical in how it handles its characters and storytelling. Yeah. We like it because these aren't real people. This isn't a real place, and we like to have, something that's different from what we see every day. And having characters that function more as archetypes, it kind of allows you to have, it allows you to have certain kinds of philosophical discussions that you can't necessarily if you're just doing this as like a piece of realistic fiction, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I mean, it's not even that. It's just sort of a big case of, to go through an inversion of your personality requires sustained bombardment, psychological bombardment. You just failing once doesn't, it's not enough of a hit to cause an inversion. And the thing is that, the thing that caused him to exile wouldn't have happened in an optimist.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't have walked into Ben's room and gone, oh no, he's going to do something. Let's kill him. Wrong room.
I was like, go ahead.
So the whole, he was tempted by the dark, not for finding out that his nephew's into some dark, edgy shit. That's not enough. You would quite literally need to strap Luke down to one of those bloody torture droid doohickeys and have that running for a good couple of years before you get Jake Skywalker.
Yeah, that I can agree with.
The guy took a chance on Kyle Katarn when he was in his darkest place, and now we are supposed to think because of a vision he wanted to kill his nephew? Come on.
Yep. Yep. That's what we're supposed to think. And in my mind, I'm just telling Luke this.
No, you're still holding on. Let go.
I mean, it's true though. It really is true. He's holding on to something that's pretty minor compared to what he's been through.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, and this isn't to justify the story choices that they made in The Last Jedi and kind of explaining, the split between Luke and his nephew, but I'm curious if, if I've been given the script of The Last Jedi and I was told, like, we need to justify Luke's turning on his nephew. What could we do? Like, that's going to be part of the story, but what would you do to make it seem more plausible? One thing that I frankly would have done, because and this is, I think, a problem of the writing in that movie, and also in, like the rise of, in the sequels generally, they just kind of rely on this exposition, this telling, rather than showing, instead of just having Luke say, well, I just saw darkness in him, and so therefore I had to stab him. I think I would have made it more explicit, or even frankly shown the visions, like, because Kylo Ren, he's a nasty person. Like, he between him gutting his shish kebabbing his father and
disgusting person, I know.
Just the number of things that he's done. It's the reason why I think I don't understand the Reylo thing, or pairing what Rey saw in him.
You don't understand it. I understand it perfectly.
Yeah, we all know what Rey saw. It had nothing to do with personality.
Yeah. But yeah, so where was I going with this? I would have frankly shown, like, Luke having visions of more of that stuff.
Yeah, she was having those visions when she thought of.
Yeah. We didn't have to see it. It's implied.
But seriously, I would have shown in the movie Luke having visions, seeing his nephew kill people that he cared a lot about. I think in the same way, having, we see Anakin having, visions of Padme dying. Like, just put a bit more materiality to that. But they didn't do that. They just said just this vaguely, I just saw he was kind of dark, and so, I had to kill him.
He was an edgy boy, so off with his head.
And that's the thing, is because that character, he's not just, and that's actually the problem, is that, I think the Reylos would say, oh, he's just an edgy boy. And it's like, no, he's not. This is a really bad guy. I would not, if I had a child, I would not want my child to date this individual. Like, it's so just, but yeah, and I'm not saying that justifies any. I'm saying, just, if I were approaching that scene, I think that's another fault of the writing, that they could have tried to soften that a bit by maybe they could have shown some stuff to give Luke a little bit more justification. It doesn't mean that that's good enough justification, but it could have made it seem a little bit less ridiculous. I'm trying to remember where I was going with that, but I think one thing that you might encounter from the sequel apologists is that, well, but Anakin basically flipped, based on a vision, and so, but you all are okay with that. And I think that would go to your point.
Vision.
Yes.
It wasn't just the vision. If you think it was
wasn't.
just sort of, if you think that, I'm not saying you're thinking of, I'm talking about the Empire, the Empire apologists. If they're thinking that it was just the vision that flicked a switch that made him go, thank you. I was leaving that.
I was picking up what you were dropping. I was picking it up.
Then then they haven't seen the movies. One of those favorite ones from sequel trilogy apologists. Because everything in the Phantom Menace, everything that was said about his life in the Phantom Menace, and then everything else in the second movie and all that, definitely leads up to him turning. It was just sort of the vision pushed it to the breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
And it was probably when Mace Windu's hand went flying off. That was the point of no return.
He accepted at that point, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that hard to turn that quickly if you had done something that you feel like you can't return from. I don't feel like it'd be that hard to turn after you've done something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
there's another factor to consider there, because they might compare the vision thing, but in Luke's case, this was the second time he would have acted on a vision, and the first time he acted on a vision, things went so wrong. He should be wary of that. Anakin had only one vision, and he was super inexperienced. Luke knew that whenever the thing with everyone in Empire, he goes to Cloud City, he neglects Yoda's advice to continue the training, and he loses a hand and saves no one. So why the hell are you acting on a vision?
Chrono, can I steal that? That is
you can.
Bloody good point. That is a bloody good point.
Very good point. I'm so glad you said that. You're smart.
Well, I mean, it's actually that point in the film is actually one of the things that I always bring up when people go, "Well, Luke was a Mary Sue." No, he wasn't. Remember, in Cloud City, he lost.
Yeah.
He's so far from a Mary Sue. He was saved by everyone.
Yeah.
See, if Luke didn't go, Leia and Chewie would have been saved by Lando anyway.
Yeah.
Luke went
that is a good point.
He was worried, but
he didn't save them. They escaped on their own with the help of Lando. That's what actually happened. They ended up saving him.
Lando's a Mary Sue.
Lando's a Mary Sue. Yeah.
He's a stylish one, though. He did. He doesn't dress as stylish in the next movie though, so that's disappointing. But he does have a cape. Stylish Lando is what I like to call him. Actually, that's the first time I've ever called him that. I'm weird. I'm sorry. I'm cringy.
Sorry. Hang on. What? You're weird? That's news to me. Shock. That's horror. Oh, wow.
I have a feeling you're lying to me.
Liar!
Just saying.
Sorry, there was a point that I wanted to bring up, and now I've forgotten it, and I'm trying to remember it. And it's like,
You're welcome.
You're being distracted by all the clips.
Yes. I mean, who couldn't get distracted? Awkward silence.
Yeah, you see that clip and then you think, oh, okay, maybe Raylos have a point.
There might be a little bit of validation there.
We all know what Raylos were called 10 years ago.
Maybe.
Twilight fans.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep, I should have known. Oh man, the amount of people that I saw that were very excited for Twilight, mostly women. I don't ever remember a single guy that I knew back then excited for that movie at all. Any of those movies. Yeah, that was a weird time.
Not even oh god, what was the actor's name now? Robert Pattinson was excited about those movies, and he was in it, and he had thousands of girls that would have just jumped his
I think we know where you're going, and we can leave it right there.
Child friendly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we got Anakin's got a job to do. Be nice.
And even he didn't like the bloody Twilight movies. I actually loved when that bit of information came out, where all the Twilight fans just went, "No!"
Oh man, I need Luke
my
saying no.
heart.
That's a good idea. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh, what did I
write this
remind
down.
you?
Nothing.
What?
Keep going.
I don't know if I want to.
How long ago were those movies? Like,
I
are you
wanna
wondering?
say-
Are you wondering if the Twilight fans grew up into Raylos? Is that where you're going?
yeah, because I'm trying to remember how old I was when those
around 2012 or 13?
I feel like
Think-
earlier.
That's right.
I remember my 10th grade teacher freaking out about Twilight and how they went to the midnight premiere. And I was in 10th grade around 2013. So
Yeah, no, that actually that probably makes sense. Because I remember. Let's see.
The movies came out 2008, 2009, and 2010.
huh.
Yeah, that makes sense because I remember I was like graduating high school, then undergrad, and it kind of overlapped all that stuff. Okay, yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. Oh Lord.
Not long enough.
Lord.
Definitely wish it was more memory to hold than not.
I feel old. I'm only 24, but I feel old. Oh well.
I hear
Oh,
you.
shut up, yeah, shut up, there, youngin.
Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Wow, I have no idea where we're at anymore. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I remember something that I wanted to ask because it's related in a way to this whole conversation about Luke. And I want everybody to tell me what they think about this. What makes a hero in a story? Now, I want to hear what you would expect to see in a hero figure. Because when I was talking about Luke, I was talking a little bit about what I think a hero figure would be like, and not just because Luke is a hero, but I gave a little bit of an example why he's the type of hero that needs to be in movies nowadays or shows or whatever. So, what do you guys think makes a hero? I'll go ahead and start with Chrono since he's underneath my name on here. Go ahead, Chrono.
Well, I think there are many different kinds of heroes, but I think they all share one trait, at least to my appreciation, is a hero to me is the kind of person that when he or she shows up, you kind of know that things are going to work out. This person that gives you certain hope that whatever situation you're in, they're going to make it right. I mean, it can be as simple as Superman saving someone from falling from a building or stopping a bullet in front of them. But
Yeah.
the moment you see them, you know, like, okay, I'm good, I'm safe. This works pretty much the same, but in many different ways around life. Because I mean, sometimes your parents or your siblings are your heroes because they step up for you, or some friend who maybe gives you something to eat when you don't have anything. To me, being a hero is about giving hope.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense considering what you were asking about. I mean, you asked this because of Luke, and yes, I mean, Luke is the hero of Star Wars because it's all about bringing hope.
Exactly. And I mean, it doesn't help that George Lucas sort of based him off of what a stereotypical hero at that time would have been like. So
Yeah,
I would probably say stereotypical hero's journey.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That
Yeah.
same thing. Same thing. You're right though. But yeah, that when I look at heroes, Luke would be one I would base a hero off of. If I had to base like if I had to make a character and base it off of a specific hero that I've seen in a movie or TV show, Luke would probably be one of the first I think of.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
Anything else you want to say, Chrono, before I move on to Commander Tano?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay. What about you, Commander Tano? What do you think makes a hero?
Like I said, I'm a naturally cynical person, and so it's like I actually tend to not gravitate towards hero figures, which is really weird, like because I think Luke has grown on me. But I think I'm going to just plagiarize a bit with what Soraya said about the opposite of an optimist being someone who's apathetic. I would say a hero isn't apathetic. I think, as Chrono mentioned, there are different types of there are different flavors of hero characters, but I think that's one thing that they would have in common is just not having apathy.
Mm-hmm. That's a good answer. That's good. I agree with that. There are many different types of heroes. I mean, my favorite type is the ones that have like, well, I don't know exactly how to explain it. I mean, I guess basically just think of Luke, and that is my favorite type of hero. One of my favorite types of heroes. Go ahead, Sir Away.
It really bugs me because there was a video that sort of discussed about what makes a hero type of situation, and there was a word that they an attribute that they described, and for the life of me I cannot remember it. And it just absolutely bugs the crap out of me, because the thing is that one of the core principles that definitely sort of permeates through all heroes, real or imagined, is definitely sort of selflessness.
Oh, that's one I didn't mention. Yes, that's true.
Because the thing is that no matter sort of what heroic act it is, even if it is just driving across the city at 3 a.m. in the morning to pick someone up who's in trouble, that is a heroic act. It might not be flashy, but if you've got to go to work at 6 a.m. in the 9 a.m. in the morning, having to get into the car, drive 2 hours at 3 a.m. in the morning, that is definitely an absolute detriment to you.
Mm-hmm.
And most, or say all heroic acts tend to have a case of being a detriment to the person performing the heroic act.
Yeah.
I mean, this was many years ago, but somebody decided to shoot someone in the middle of Melbourne, and just two bystanders just absolutely ran at the guy, and they both got shot. They ended up taking the shooter out and tackling him to the ground and disarming him, and saving the person, saving the victim.
Wow.
That is an absolute definition of a heroic act. And you don't need to be a Luke Skywalker to do that. You just need to have that little switch in your brain that just sort of goes, something needs to happen regardless to the costs of me. I need to step in.
Self-sacrifice, basically. The willingness to sacrifice something of value or yourself if need be. That's all. Yep. That's another good point. That's another good point. One I didn't mention.
And the thing is that it definitely doesn't have to be, your physical body.
It can be something you cherish, like, let's say, a very valuable item that you have. Maybe you're selling it to give somebody money that needs it.
Yeah, absolutely. It just there needs to be that issue of self-sacrifice. If it's not there, and that action of selflessness, if it's not there, well, you're not exactly doing a heroic act.
Yeah. Well, those are all really good answers, and I really enjoy hearing all those perspectives on what a hero is. I mean, there's so much that you can come up with that makes a hero, but I think a lot of what we just mentioned are like the main pieces that you can put on that puzzle. The big pieces that you can, really tell where they fit. So that might have been a terrible analogy. I was trying to come up with something good. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I'm distracting everybody from my terrible analogy. Here you go. It's
what are you distracting? Are you distracting us with the psycho?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh gosh.
Now the question is was that actually correct, or
listen? I'll pop in at the most inopportune times.
No. This was an opportune time.
Well, that's good.
Yes, because now you get to tell me what you think makes a hero. Because I hate everybody else, so now it's your turn.
I think what makes a hero at the end of the day is like moral character, because it's like, it comes down to really what's kind of in their heart, what motivates them at the end of the day, and if it's for vain reasons or for vain circumstances, then they're not really a hero. I feel like in general, a hero tends to have other people in their heart, other people as the motivator for what is their cause, what is their mission, rather than their self or personal gain or, any sort of other, vain or any other real example of vanity. I don't know. I don't really know where to go from there, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
That was really good.
Well, that's good. I just say things off the top of my head. Listen, we're all just winging it here today.
Yeah. Like I said, this was a last minute thing for me. So
vanity is probably actually not something that completely discounts.
Fair enough, because I feel like it is kind of in the human. It is kind of at least a little bit vain from time to time.
Yeah. Oh no. It's just sort of a case of, you could be the most vain person on the face of the planet, but when it comes to the question of, are you going to step in and rescue that person, or are you going to stand in and stand in front of a bullet type of situation? If the answer is yes, it kind of still makes you a hero.
You just described Tony Stark.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah, that's
it
true.
kind of does. I was actually thinking more along the lines of the superhero Booster Gold from DC.
Oh, true. Yeah.
He
was all about
definitely
fame.
he was all about the Flash. Not the hero Flash, but being flashy and sort of look at me,
kind of. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But I could definitely say is you can't be a narcissist and a hero.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you know, at the end of the day, all characters, even heroes, have their like pitfalls, and just necessarily because they have their pitfalls doesn't necessarily mean that we should write them off as a hero as well. I feel like you know, being like a narcissist or something like you said would kind of eliminate you from being in that category altogether. But you know, I think it's important for us.
Sorry,
to remember...
Sorry, Twitter blue check marks.
Yeah, right. I think it's important to remember that I don't know, like the Deep from The Boys, for example. He was like a very hated character kind of towards the beginning, but it's like throughout both seasons of that show, like he kind of learned from his mistakes and ended up kind of becoming the hero that we knew that he could be by the end. And I don't know, it kind of, as a viewer, taught me a lesson about, you know, writing characters off when they tend to sort of have like behaviors that you wouldn't like necessarily think that they could bounce back from. Like, you know, you sometimes you like you're watching something and you hate a character just so much that you're like, there's no way like that they I honestly, like watching Stranger Things, like through the first season I hated Steve so much that like I was like, this guy is such a jerk. Like, I don't care if they try to like make something good out of his character, I'm not gonna like it. But then in season 2, Steve ends up being like one of my favorite characters in the show. And I think it's just one of those things. It's just like, you know, it's a lesson to not write people off. And, you know, as a viewer and as a fan of a franchise, to not write, you know, the characters off, to give them a time to develop, you know, and to grow into what they are capable of growing into.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So, I had something else I was going to say, but now I lost it. I do that a lot, don't I? Huh. Well, dang it. Okay. Well, I guess I'll forget about that. I have no idea what I was going for.
Sorry. Do you need to say something?
No, did you have something you wanted to say? Because I'm just rambling at this point. I'm
trying to remember. No. It's just I found I ended up finding the video that had that word in it that I couldn't think of. Still haven't found the word yet, but I mean, if anyone sort of wants to look it up, it's My Hero Academia: Why Heroes Matter. And it's from the YouTube channel Wisecrack. I'm kind of running through the video right now, hoping to find the word they used. I just hope that they actually said it. Oh wait, hang on a second. Unconditional hospitality. That's it.
Unconditional hospitality. Huh.
Because I mean, in you know, the idea of hospitality is to crap. I've
It's okay.
I've lost it now.
It's okay. I feel the same. I know your pain.
You know, you give something of yourself without expecting anything in return. which is exactly what. Actually, here we go. Of course. Go.
I was just gonna say the circumstances for sure, like, kind of play a part into it as well. As far as whether or not you can consider someone to be a hero, like just because they do something that's like maybe terrible. It's like I feel like it's like, is it justifiable? Like for example, Crosshair so far in Bad Batch, it's like we see him turn, and we see he's not technically on the side that most of us are rooting for at this point, but at the same in the same breath, it's like he's not necessarily acting out of his own accord explicitly. So we can maybe forgive him, and he can redeem himself as a hero. I feel like that kind of, sort of taking into account intent kind of plays into it as well.
That's true. That's true.
He's a sort of really good sort of statement, sort of with the thought around this sort of thought process. The law of hospitality is absolute in that it requires one to give all one has to another without asking any questions, imposing any restrictions, or requiring any compensation.
Oh.
And that's a quote from Mark Westmoreland.
Oh.
I'd have to watch the video again to have sort of the context around it. But it's very much sort of a good basis on, I guess you could say, sort of say the first actions, the first processes of heroic actions.
Yeah. Well, quick question, because I already said that I sort of feel this way, but do you feel like there is a lack of what we would probably deem as good heroes in stories now?
No.
You don't think so?
No. I mean, you just have to look at sort of Captain America. A lot of the Marvel characters.
Well, let's put those aside because it is a superhero movie.
I would argue that most of kind of the big format, not like for just stories in general, is to kind of follow the anti-hero because it's like people kind of find that to be a little more like relatable in a way. It's just like basically somebody that is kind of, not necessarily what you would consider to be a hero, but somebody that you would say is maybe justified in their behavior or justified in their actions. That's kind of what I see happening more and more in like action movies and just movies in general. It's just like we're starting to see this very flawed type of protagonist, because it's like it's not really necessarily exploitative. It's just like this is just something that people can relate to because we all have issues within our own lives. So I think that to a degree, if you do take Marvel and things that are very in their own regard very popular right now, out of the equation, just I guess because they're kind of more follow that like superhero, I guess you would say, formula. I could see it. I could see the argument for saying that things have kind of moved away from the perfect superhero narrative, if you will.
Yeah.
I would probably say yes in Western media.
Okay. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I can totally agree.
But definitely not in media like anime and video games.
Yeah.
You
I
can still
totally
find
get on board with that take.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I just quoted from a video on the anime My Hero Academia. That pretty much. So it is sort of one of those cases of, if you just look at the Western movies, comic books, and TV, you might you could definitely say that. Now I'm just trying to think of shows that aren't or don't have anything to do with comic books, and I'm really having a lot of trouble with it.
I can't really think of one off the top of my head. Well,
see, the biggest problem is that I've been watching far too much anime, so it's just sort of like, oh wait, hang on a second, there's another side of the planet that makes media. But
I mean,
yeah. Oh, sorry, go.
Oh, okay. I mean, for me, it has felt a little bit like they've moved away from what, inspiring heroes would be. I mean, if we want to go the anti-hero route, do you really want to? I mean, and not saying that all the anti-heroes are bad. There's some good ones for sure. But are you really wanting to like inspire somebody to be like, let's say, Deadpool, who goes around and just does things on his own, not really caring too much? He's an anti-hero. He's not a hero. He'll go and kill without remorse. You know what I'm saying?
What about like Homelander, who's like,
or Homelander?
Homelander's technically like, the main character of the show, but he's terrible.
He's a terrible person. Terrible.
I need to sit down and watch that.
Or you can go Omni-Man from Invincible.
Yeah, him as well. He's kind of, I guess it's kind of the same idea, but yeah.
I think the other thing is like, even if you kind of allowed like in Western media, like, oh yeah, even when you do have heroic characters, I think another thing that's, and this is what's funny about, kind of The Last Jedi supposedly being subversive. It's like, no, I think if The Last Jedi were written as subversive, it would have given characters happy endings. I think if the sequel trilogy was subversive, it would have given them happy endings. That's something where it's like, even if you do find, say, a heroic character, it's like, I feel like writers are like, we can't allow that character to succeed 100%. We have to either kill that character or make sure their legacy is killed off after they're gone, or you know what I mean? There's
especially if they're a white male.
Yep.
Yeah. So isn't it sort of funny that only the legacy characters that were white got killed off?
I mean, to be fair, there are not that many of them.
I mean,
but you're right.
They didn't kill Lando. They didn't kill Chewie.
Not kill Lando, and they could have.
Put that on Twitter, see how it goes.
Oh Lord, I'm look. I would do it, but I don't think I want to deal with all the mob, because they are very, very good at doxing people and stuff like that. So I think I'll take the safe route and just put it on here.
Well, the thing, in fairness too, that those movies also just kind of, they also ruined Lando too. It's like, what on earth is Lando doing just hanging out in the desert for how many years? Yeah. It's like, that's not Lando. Like,
no.
And, I mean, you could honestly see him there for maybe a couple of years, and then he just sort of goes, well, I've got a city to run. I'm out of here. See ya.
Yeah, why didn't he go back to
Lando
Cloud
is a
City?
Mary Sue. What's Mary Sue Lando doing out in the desert?
He's Mary Suing the desert. Being better than the desert. He has to flex, you know.
Now, I mean, you know,
You got it.
I remembered what I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. Does anyone want to say anything on the topic that is up now, or
Chrono, did you have
Orlando
anything?
and being in the desert?
Did you have anything to say, Chrono, about this before we moved on?
No, that's okay. You can go ahead.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
It was to do with Luke and why he was on that island, and you know, the type of vision that would actually send him to an island on a planet in the middle of nowhere and all that.
Yeah.
And the vision would be of if he went to the island, someone would eventually come, he would have to train, and they would defeat Kylo Ren.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, who would he train? Mary Sue. I mean, Rey. But I mean, you know, it covers the reason why he would exile himself. You know,
yeah.
He would then also have a vision, and it would also explain why he would leave a goddamn map, because he knew that the Force would lead the person he needed to train to the map, to R2-D2, and then to him.
Yep.
But that would require, you know, competence.
Which they didn't show. Clearly.
Really though, speaking of Mary Sue's, I'm thinking about this more and more. It's like, no, Rey is not the Mary Sue of these movies. It's Lando. Because think about it. It's like, you know, when, like in The Last Jedi, when Leia's like calling out for help and no one shows up when they're on that salt planet.
Yeah.
And how, but in The Rise of Skywalker, Lando's able to get everyone to come hang out with him, and like Lando is the Mary Sue. Lando is the Mary Sue. He is the only Mary Sue.
Oh man, he Mary Sued his way.
That was the ultimate Mary Suing at the end of that movie. That was Orlando. He is the Mary Sue. There's no other.
Okay. You know what? Rey's no longer a Mary Sue. She was never that powerful. Nobody can outdo.
He wasn't. It was Lando.
No. But I mean, to be fair, you know, having powerful abilities doesn't justify a Mary Sue. A Mary Sue has to have the power of breaking the world around them. So the powerful person that's been training in sword fighting or lightsaber dueling for many years will suddenly be a complete moron.
Yep.
So the Mary Sue can defeat that person.
Do you ever think that might be why he threw the lightsaber away?
Yeah, why are you giving this to me? You know, you're already perfect. Throw it behind me and fuck off.
It might not even be because he's seen her as being perfect. He probably foreseen that she would try to fight him with it and probably win because of her Mary Sue-ness. So he tried to throw it away before she could have a chance.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot more sense.
I mean,
He was probably rolling his eyes, saying, "Oh yeah, here we go, training montage for nothing."
yeah, here we go. She's already. Well, Yoda even says that he can't teach her anything that she doesn't already possess or whatever. No. The Jedi texts don't have anything that she doesn't already possess, which is so weird because the Force Awakens takes place directly before the Last Jedi, and she just became a Jedi Master, I guess, in the last movie. Which she just became a Jedi in general, but like how much time passed between the beginning of the Force Awakens all the way up to that point where she was at the island? It wasn't long, just probably at the very much a week, right?
Much time that's elapsed.
It was probably just about a week, right? There was no way that they spent like a couple years getting back to the Resistance. There's no way.
No way. Like
It
would
takes
be my
years for a
guess
Jedi
as
to
well.
train.
Yeah.
But for her, it just takes mere weeks. No,
You mean days?
Even better, days. What? Hours?
I mean, the thing is that, you know, even if you have Force download, Force Napster, hang on, what would be better, you know, Force download or Force Napster? Yeah. But anyway, even if you do have, you know, all of the different Jedi lightsaber forms downloaded into your brain, it doesn't mean you won't have. It doesn't mean you'll have the muscle memory downloaded.
Exactly.
So, you know, even if you read all the books and all that type of stuff, or, you know, downloaded it from ForceNet, you would still need to train your body in how to move and how to work with the forms. So, yeah, I'm sorry. You can't download it from someone's head and be a sword master. I mean,
Exactly.
it works in the Matrix because there's no muscle memory to worry about.
That's true.
If what did the character
Neo?
Neo, if Neo had have decided to do a backflip in reality, he would face plant on the floor quite easily.
True.
And the main reason is because, yeah, the brain knows what it's meant to be doing, but the body doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, that's a very valid point. One I didn't actually think of either. I mean, since the Force Awakens, like the whole movie probably takes the course of a couple days. I said about a week, but that was being generous. I want to say maybe a couple days, maybe 2 to 3 days, if not less. So how in the world?
especially seeing how they rewrote the rules in Lightspeed.
Yeah, that's also true. They did rewrite that to make a cool looking cinematic, but you know, that aside, they did mess with things that should not have been messed with, and that's the time to learn how to be a Jedi. Now, they could, I mean, it won't fix it, but they could, like have some sort of prequel lore material to the Force Awakens that sort of describes her, you know, sort of learning Force related things without actually realizing that she's using the Force, which would explain maybe her somewhat talent with it. I mean, if you're a Force sensitive child in the Clone Wars, like the little Rhodian child during the episode where they were being kidnapped, the little children were being kidnapped. I think it was called Children of the Force or something like that. the little child was like levitating a ball using the force, but the kid doesn't know what it's doing. It's just doing it. So if they wanted to make things better, they could have done something like that. Give us a little extra lore material. Maybe even show it in the movie, showing her young and doing something with it, with something, levitating something, and not realizing what she's doing. And then when she goes to try to mind trick the stormtrooper, which given there she should, if she didn't know much about the Jedi, she probably shouldn't have known what a Jedi mind trick was. But let's say she did. Let's say she figured out something about that. That would have made it easier to believe that she could have tried it out and, learned it right on the spot. But they didn't. That's the
I mean, the thing is that they could have made her levitate the bloody rebel pilot helmet, little house thing on Jakku.
Mm-hmm.
Or, as she's dangling from a large place in the Star Destroyer, she almost falls, but she, I don't know, hammers a rope into somewhere with the Force. She didn't need to be levitating the entire Star Destroyer, but, just
some indication that she kind of had done this before,
Yeah. But she never did.
Yeah, with the mind trick specifically, it's painful to watch because she's been into the Force for like an hour or something, and
you mean
she
5 minutes?
Someone, and come on, even in the books in Shadows of the Empire, Luke describes at the very beginning of that book how he struggled to try to mind trick some guard trying to sneak past him, and I'm like, this guy's been training for years now. How do you mind trick a stormtrooper in 20 minutes? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
20 minutes ago, you knew nothing about the Force.
You know what they could have done with Rey's character? They should have started off the movie with... They could have left her being a scavenger. But what they could have done is show her using the Force and knowing what she's doing with it for the most part when it comes to like pulling something towards her or pushing something away from her, and let that be the limit to what she can do. She uses it to help her with her scavenging, but she doesn't know what this power is. And then let's say the First Order attacks Jakku because of the Luke Skywalker map thing, and the Resistance ends up coming there to try to aid the people being killed. And somebody from the Resistance, like let's say Poe, witnesses her doing something like that because she'll be in the middle of the battle whether she wants it or not, and to save herself she probably force pushes like something to block laser fire or whatever, and Poe witnesses it and then basically not captures her but sort of asks her to come with them for reasons, and where she probably doesn't want to leave because of her family, they probably find a way to convince her to go with them, though. I don't know. But and then they take her to Leia, and Leia explains this, and then they explain what they're doing with the map to Skywalker. So, I mean, that is very flawed what I come up with because this is just on the spot, but that would be, in a way, a really good example of having a reason to believe that she could learn a new Force power relatively easy-ish. But,
Or better yet, just have her not start on Jakku.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like regardless of
have her start at, like have her start at, I don't know, Luke's Jedi Temple.
And you can do that
That'd
too.
be too simple.
That would be too simple, though.
Yeah, I really feel like I don't know. The direction got lost. It's just like, I don't know.
Sorry, hang on. You're assuming they had it.
Yeah. They could have like come up with a lot of things like we were kind of talking about that explain, like kind of set up the story and explain the context of, what's going on so much better. But it was just like I don't know. They kind of got lost in the sauce with making the sequel trilogy.
I got lost too.
It's true.
I got lost too. Okay. Well,
You got lost in his biceps.
I was thinking more of the abs, but we'll go with the biceps. They're good too. I'm an idiot. Okay. I think that just proves that I've been up too long. And yeah, I'm
Just do it. Just stream
it's only
yourself
8 o'clock for me, but I'm still like, gosh, I'm still sort of getting used to waking up at 5 in the morning. I'm almost there. I'm like, for some reason, it's slow for me. So I guess I go a little crazy when I get tired. I don't know. Yesterday, when I got home at 9 o'clock, I just went to sleep on my bed. I don't usually do that. That's how tired I was.
I'm with you, bro. That's generally around the time that I wake up, so I'm feeling you right now.
Well, so we're going to go ahead and probably end the stream on that before I do any more craziness. We had some pretty interesting things to talk about. I really enjoyed this stream. It was pretty interesting.
I did too.
Yeah, I am looking forward to tomorrow's episode of The Bad Batch. I'll watch it as soon as I can, and I'll have a video out Monday. I'm actually, if everything goes right, I'm actually doing something special on Monday with the video, but it's not Star Wars related. I'll get back to doing Star Wars games in a little bit. I'll go ahead and mention this now, and I hope everything works out. I hope nothing messes up on me because I want to be able to do this. So, you guys know about Five Nights at Freddy's, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, the creator, Scott Cawthon, is retiring, and it's due in part to the people canceling him online, which was stupid. Just because he supported the side that he wanted to support, he deserves to be doxxed and threatened and all that stuff. That's just wrong. So he announced, I think today, that he is retiring from, the franchise. Which, if anybody knows me well enough, they know how much I love Five Nights at Freddy's. The lore and everything is just wonderful. I love it. The mystery. I love mystery. So what I'm going to try to do, if nothing prevents me from doing it, I will try to do a whole series of beating every single one of the games on this channel. And that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to make any promises because I'm afraid I'll break it. But that's what I'm going to try to do in honor of him because of the memories that he has given me with these things. So, or with the books and the games. It's stuff that I can talk about with friends that enjoy it as well. And it's really created some really cool memories. It's just meant a lot to me. So I want to show how much it means to me. Just like Star Wars means a lot to me, and I'm showing it with Star Wars topics and doing some gameplay of other Star Wars games, all that stuff. I talk about my love for different franchises around here, even though this is a Star Wars channel. But yeah, it's just wrong what happened to him, and I want to support in the best way possible. And I guess in my the best I can do is maybe celebrate what he has created. So that's the special thing that I was talking about. But yeah, that's just a little info there.
That sounds awesome, man. I can't wait to tune into that on Monday.
Yes, Monday. I'm going to start with the first game. I haven't beaten all the games, but I have played every single one of them.
Do you know what time that's going to drop on the channel?
I'm going to try to have it out by 2 o'clock. If not, then it should be around 6 o'clock. And that's PM, not AM, on Eastern time, for anybody that's wondering. Because I'm really good at the first two games for sure. I can beat those easily. I played them enough. But the last games, the third, the fourth, and the sixth one, I haven't beaten. And I'm telling you, they're not easy. So I want to try to finally beat those games. So look forward to that for anybody that cares about the gaming portion of this channel. You know, Psycho, I always do the outro and I mess it up. How about you do it this time? Start with the Discord.
Well, hang on a second. I
Huh?
want to bring up something just before you do the outro.
Okay.
In the last stream that we did, we started talking about me doing a reading of the High Republic.
Yes.
I just thought I would give you sort of an update on how that's going.
Okay.
I've got a small snippet of it's like the first 3 chapters of the first book.
Mhm.
I just didn't have any money this fortnight, so I didn't get the rest of it. But I've read it. I've started sort of, I guess you could say, scripting it up.
Oh, nice.
And I still haven't got an audiobook version of it.
Yeah.
But because I never really had listened to an audiobook, so I don't sort of know how they do it and how much I can sort of change from it. But it's going to be good.
Nice.
Just the first 3 chapters are just absolutely horrible, but so it's going to
be good. This is where the fun begins.
I'm ready.
You expect nothing less.
Yeah, I expect nothing less as well.
But
just I read the first 3 chapters and I just sort of went, oh my god, did they get like Stephanie Meyer to proofread it or something?
Oh god.
Is it that level of greatness?
Oh, see, that's a hero right there.
Yeah. We've seen it for sure. We've seen the hero in him.
So yeah,
yeah, I almost forgot about that. I'm glad you reminded me of that. I'm glad it's going well because I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah, so it's still probably going to be a little bit out. But I just thought I would give everyone an update that I am working on it.
Nice.
And hopefully I'll have something soon and I'll keep everyone updated.
Awesome.
Sounds great,
I'm really excited for. Really excited for.
Oh yeah.
I can already imagine the craziness that's going to go on.
Oh, you better expect a lot.
I'm ready for this. One more thing on the Scott Cawthon thing. If you haven't played the games or read the books, I suggest you at least try it. And if you like it, I would for sure go and support Scott, especially through this. I mean, I'll mention a few things here. Like, I already mentioned that he was doxxed, and they were threatening him to come to his house, and he was worried for his pregnant wife and his kids and stuff like that. So he retired, but he didn't retire exactly in the way that made him look pathetic. He still didn't apologize to them for anything because he had nothing to apologize for. And he went out basically on his own terms. He decided that he was going to choose somebody to take up the mantle, basically, of his choosing that he trusts. So in a way, it's like Scott isn't leaving, but he won't be in it as like a big capacity as he was before. So it's not a win on their part. Even though it might be a partial win, it's not a full win. And I just wanted to support him on that. That's all I'm trying to do. So, and I know this isn't a Five Nights at Freddy's channel, but I feel like it's something I should say because that franchise, since it came out, has been one of my favorite things to ever like invest myself in. And if anybody here hasn't like actually invested themselves in it, give it a try because in my opinion, it's worth it. And if that's your cup of tea, Commander Tono, then you should give it a try. I mean, it's fun. And also, remember the Moa Burger, Pringles.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
Pringles you'll ever eat.
This stream was sponsored by Halo and Pringles.
Yeah. Yeah. Halo Infinite, be ready. Hey, once that comes out, I see a face. What are you doing?
I'm making my face brandable. It's trademark.
Brandable. And also be on the lookout for the Mary Sue shirt. The Mary Suing shirt. That is. Mary Suing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Be on the lookout for that product in the near 200 years, because I don't know when I'll be able to get that done. I really do want to work on that. So I'm going to see what I can do about that. Because I think I should get at least make that shirt and have one sent to each of you guys, because
Yeah.
of course Commander Kano gets the first one because she coined the term. Am I right? You were the first one to coin the term, right?
fair.
Yes.
Yes, that's she gets a special edition.
Well, thank you.
Yes. I actually will work on that. I will work on that. I got to figure out how to do that. I'm learning things. All right. So this is the end of the stream this time. I'm going to let Psycho take over the outro. He usually likes to talk about our Discord. What do you have to say about the Discord,
Our
Psycho?
Discord is absolutely lit. I guess there's probably a link floating around somewhere to the official
in the description.
Collective Discord. So if you want to visit the description, join the club. We just chat, we hang out, whatever. It's a lot of fun. And we do this right now. We're doing this every Thursday, and I believe Shade is doing gaming videos every Tuesday. So lots
Monday.
of awesome Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
So every Monday there's a new gaming video. We do Star Wars topics every Thursday. So there's a lot of really great stuff to stay in the loop. So make sure that you subscribe. But until next time, thank you for tuning into the Force Collective, and may the Force be with you always.
Yes, may the Force be with you. And thank you guys for being on here. It's been a pleasure.
Every week.
Yes. All right. Well, dang it. I was about to say one tiny
press
thing.
the
Forget
button.
it.
Press
Forget
the
it. We're
button.
done. Goodbye.
Sector.